Hi, readers. Tonight, I am wondering if you know or if you remember the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz. If you don't, it's okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. He was standing really still for a really long time when Dorothy found him. And when he started to move, he was really stiff. And when he walked, he'd make a really loud squeaking sound. And he was kind of rusty because he hadn't moved in so long. And so Dorothy had to kind of give him oil for those rusty spots so that he could move again. And guys, readers at the beginning of school year are a lot like the Tin Man. We're a little rusty because maybe we didn't read as much over the summer, or our reading brains just aren't quite ready yet. So today, what I want you to think about is we've talked about finding good spots and talking with a partner and setting goals. But tonight, I want to help you get rid of some of that rust so that we can make reading the best it can be. I want to teach you that readers need to stop and ask themselves some questions every once in a while they're reading their book, because it's really, really, really important that we understand what's happening in our story wherever we are. So if you finish a chapter or maybe just a certain part of your book that's a really good stopping spot, I want you to pause and I want you to think about these three things. Who is the character in this part, or characters? Where are my characters? And 3, what are my characters doing right now? I want you to think of our read aloud Stone Fox as we finish chapter 1 today. I want you to think to yourself maybe, who is the character? If I'm going to give myself a comprehension check, I need to ask myself that question. If I responded to you like, oh, who's in that part, that first chapter? And I said, oh, there's that kid, he's a boy. If you have not read that first chapter, I bet you don't really know who I'm talking about. So it's super important if I ask, or you're asking yourself, or your parent asked, or your reading partner asked, oh, who are your characters? You really need to be specific. So when I think about who's the character in chapter 1 of Stone Fox, I would say there is this boy. His name is Little Willie, and he's 10 years old, and he lives with his grandpa. That would describe Willie enough for me to let someone maybe who hasn't read it understand who the main character is. Also, I need to ask myself question number 2, and where is my character? Again, if I say, a house, I'm not being very specific. When I think back to chapter 1, they told me that Little Willie lives with his grandfather on their family farm in Wyoming. That is more specific. Then question number 3, what is my character doing? Well, in this part, Little Willie had just woken up and he thought Grandpa was playing a joke on him. And Grandpa was still in bed. He hadn't gotten out of bed to fix her breakfast, made it outside to start any of the chores. And when Little Willie went into his bedroom, he wouldn't even talk to Little Willie. And so Little Willie had to call the doctor. That would be a good explanation of what's happening in that part. So when you are doing these comprehension checks on your own, asking yourself those 3 questions, who is the character or characters? Where are they? and what are they doing, try to be specific so that when someone else is reading your comprehension check that you're jotting down in your notebook, that we would be able to pick up on what's really happening in that part. I cannot wait to see how well you guys do writing your comprehension checks in your notebook all next week.